Everyone, welcome to Dental Talks. Today here we are going to discuss about the different theories of child psychology. Child psychology is a very important topic. You can say it forms the base of whole of the periodontics. So you can definitely not miss it. In the university exam, you're definitely going to get a long question in which you're supposed to explain each and every child of type of child psychology, the theories. Okay. So basically here we are going to study the mind of the child and its function. That all comprises of the theories of child psychology. Now you see, broadly we have classified it into two parts. Okay, the part A here is going to be the behavioral learning theories, and in the other part, that is part B, we have got the psychodynamic theories. So in part A of the video, we are going to discuss about these four behavioral learning theories, and in the second separate part of the video, I'll make you understand these ones because they are the major, or you can say the important theories. These are considered to be the minor and not so important theories. Clear? Moving ahead, if you see the name first here, in the behavioral learning theory, you can see the first we have is classical conditioning theory, operant conditioning theory, social learning theory, and the hierarchy of needs. These are the four theories we have in here, and now this is the name of the person who has discovered these theory. So the classical conditioning was given by Ivan Pavlov, the operant conditioner was given by Skinner, the social learning was given by Albert Bandura, and hierarchy of needs was given by Maslow. Whereas when we come to the major ones, the psychodynamic theories, we have the psychosexual theory, psychosocial theory, and the cognitive theory. Only three theories are there in this. Okay, the very important person in whole of the periodontics is Sigmund Freud. Why? This is also said to be the father of modern human psychology. Okay, so he's said to be the father of modern human psychology. That is the reason it is very important, and he has given the psychosexual theory. The other one is your psychosocial theory, and this was given by Erik Erikson. And lastly we have the cognitive theory, and the cognitive theory was mainly given by your Jean Piaget. Clear? So the first which we are going to deal here is going to be our classical conditioning theory by Jean Pavlov. Okay, so coming to the first theory of the behavioral understanding, in which you're going to understand the behavior pattern of a child. Okay, and the first in here we have the classical conditioning, the very famous theory which was given by Ivan Pavlov. Now here what he said was that when there is a stimulus which is present, only then you're going to get a response. तो आइवन पैवलोव के अकॉर्डिंग जब तक कोई स्टिमुलस एक्ट नहीं करेगा तब तक कोई रिस्पॉन्स भी देखने को नहीं मिलेगा. लेट मी गिव यू अ वेरी स्मॉल एग्जाम्पल फ्रॉम अ डे टू डे लाइफ. वेन एवर यू गोइंग टू टच अ हॉट वेसल, ठीक है, जब आप हॉट वेसल को टच करोगे तभी तो आपका रिस्पॉन्स आएगा कि आप एकदम से हाथ हटाओगे. अगर हॉट वेसल जो स्टिमुलस है वो ही प्रेजेंट नहीं होगा तो हैंड रिमूवल का जो रिस्पॉन्स है क्या वो देखने के लिए मिलेगा? नहीं मिलेगा. सो दैट इज वॉट ही सेड. नाउ थ्रू हिज एग्जाम्पल्स रिगार्डिंग टू दिस टॉपिक, उन्होंने पहला जो एग्जाम्पल दिया फॉर द क्लासिकल कंडीशनिंग वॉज एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ अ डॉग. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यू आर अ पेट ओनर and you have a dog and you are having a ring in your hand. You keep ringing the bell, the dog will not come to you क्योंकि उसके पास कोई पर्पस नहीं है. ठीक है, you are giving a sign to the dog, they are giving a signal to the dog, but he is not going to come to you. Why? Because there is no purpose, there would be no response in this case. Okay, but at the other time if you are giving द बेल विद फूड टू द डॉग, ठीक है, अब जब आप बेल बजाओ तो आप उसके साथ उसे खाना भी दो तो डॉग को समझ आ जाएगा कि नेक्स्ट टाइम जब भी बेल बजेगी तो मुझे फूड मिलेगा. तो वो क्या करेगा? हर बेल बजने पे भागता हुआ आएगा. तो द फूड हेयर इज बेसिकली कंडीशनिंग. द फूड हेयर इज एक्टिंग एज अ कंडीशनिंग. ठीक है, दिस इज अ कंडीशनिंग. नाउ when there was a stimulus, this time your response will be seen because of the presence of a conditioning agent. Next time what will happen? Now for example, आपने फिर से बेल बजाई but this time you are not having any food, still the dog will come to you. Why? और still you can say the dog will start with salivation. Why? Because dog की memory में ये बात बैठ गई है कि जब जब बेल बजेगा तब तक मुझे food मिलेगा, and that is the reason. Now even if you give food or you don't give the food, you are going to see salivation in the dog. Okay, because he'll get excited and he'll come running to you. That is the first example through which it was told that a conditioning agent is very important for a stimulus to show certain response. Clear? Other example which we have here, for example, you are the dentist and a patient comes to you. A very cute little patient has came to you and you're simply talking to him while wearing a white coat. What will happen in the first interaction? He has no idea about your job, so he'll be very frank with you. He'll talk to you, play with you, listen to you. Now for example, second time when you came to him, you ingested a इंजेक्शन इन दिस पेशेंट. ओके, नेक्स्ट टाइम जब आप इस पेशेंट के पास आए इन द सेकेंड इंट्रैक्शन, व्हाट डिड यू डू? यू गेव हिम अ वेरी पेनफुल स्टिमुलस लाइक इंजेक्शन. तो अब इसे पता चल जाएगा कि वाइट कोट वाला कोई भी इंसान जो है वो मुझे क्या देगा? इंजेक्शन देगा. सो देयर इज दिस फियर विच इज क्रिएटेड फॉर द वाइट कोट. सो नेक्स्ट टाइम व्हाट विल हैपन इन द लास्ट इंट्रैक्शन, अगर आप कभी उसके पास विदाउट एनी इंजेक्शन भी जाओगे ना, देन ऑल्सो ही विल स्टार्ट क्राइंग. ओके, अब फॉर एग्जाम्पल फर्स्ट टाइम की तरह थर्ड टाइम भी अगर आप उससे बिना इंजेक्शन के मिलने जाओगे, द चाइल्ड विल स्टार्ट क्राइंग बिकॉज नाउ द मेमोरी इज अटैच्ड टू दिस वाइट कोट. As soon as he sees the white coat, he can remember that you gave him a pain in the second interaction. So he will start crying when he'll see you. So that is the thing. Whenever you're adding a agent, a stimulus is going to be seen and a certain response will be seen in its opposite. Clear? So whenever a stimulus is been acting, a response will be seen in its opposite. Clear? These were the two examples the first person gave, and that was your Ivan Pavlov in the classical conditioning. Now here also you're going to see four process. Keep this in mind. हम जितनी भी theories यहाँ पर पढ़ेंगे ना, classical conditioning, operant conditioning, सब में क्या होंगे? certain processes होंगे जो आपको याद रखने हैं. So the four process in the classical conditioning is going to be acquisition, generalization, discrimination and extinction. Now what does acquisition means? Acquisition का मतलब होता है getting or learning a new response, learning a new response to the stimulus. So whenever somebody is giving any stimulus to the child, every time he'll have a new response. अगर आप उसे माउथ मिरर दोगे तो वो अलग तरीके से रिस्पॉन्ड करेगा, जो कि एक नया एक्विजिशन होगा. इफ़ यूल ड्रिल हिज टूथ विद द एरोटर और अ माइक्रोमीटर, then it is going to have a different response. Clear? This is the thing. That is what you say by acquisition. When the person or a child is learning a new response to the stimulus every time, that from the environment he is learning these responses. That is what you say as your acquisition. Generalization का मतलब क्या होता है? In certain conditions, if the child is very small, to every stimulus he is going to give one response, that is crying. Now no matter you are doing prophylaxis, that means you're simply cleaning his tooth, no matter you are doing restoration, no matter if you're just clicking a picture of him, in all the three conditions he'll give you a same response, that is crying, because he is fearful. Okay, and that is known as generalization. So for all the stimulus, when the response is being generalized, that is what you say as generalization. Coming to discrimination, डिस्क्रिमिनेशन इज़ अ प्रोसेस जिसमें बच्चा डिफ्रेंशिएट करना सीख गया है. अब अगर आप उसे टॉफ़ी या कैंडी दोगे तो वो अलग तरीके से रिस्पॉन्ड करेगा. अगर आप उसको रिस्टोर करोगे उसके टूथ को रिस्टोर करोगे, देन इट इज़ गोइंग टू गिव यू अ डिफरेंट रिस्पॉन्स. सो बेसिकली व्हेन द चाइल्ड हैज़ लर्नड व्हाट इज डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, हाउ टू गिव डिफरेंट रिस्पॉन्स ऑन डिफरेंट स्टिमुलस, दैट इज व्हाट यू से एज द डिस्क्रिमिनेशन प्रोसेस. लास्टली वी हैव extinction. In extinction, what you will see, as soon as the stimulus is being removed, the response is also going to be removed. What is the best example of this? For example, you are restoring the tooth of a patient, okay, and as soon as you stop this treatment, the child will stop crying, but till the treatment is going on, he will keep on crying. ठीक है, that is the example of extinction. Stimulus khatam, respond khatam, simple. Now coming to the treatment in the classical conditioning, the only treatment you have here is the counter conditioning. Counter conditioning का मतलब क्या होता है? For example, if the child is scared of your white coat, ठीक है, अगर इंजेक्शन की वजह से वो white coat से डरने लगा है, what you can do here is you can change the color of the white coat to maybe pink or purple or any other color. ठीक है, तो बेसिकली जो स्टिमुलस था आपने वो स्टिमुलस ही चेंज कर दिया. Many a times you must be noticing the periodontics specifically, they do not wear white coats. Okay, they are always going to have scrubs with cartoon pictures on it, or maybe teddy bears on it, or maybe colorful coats they are going to be happen. Their scrubs are also going to be really colorful. Why? Because kids are usually scared to the white coat. They have this thing in this mind ki white coat matlab doctor and doctor matlab pain. That was about the treatment. Coming to the second one, that is the operant conditioning. Operant conditioning किसने दी थी? BF स्किनर ने दी थी. operant conditioning कुछ नहीं होता, जो आपका क्लासिकल कंडीशनिंग थ्योरी है ना, इसी का एक एक्सटेंशन होता है. तो इसमें बेसिकली क्या होता है, जो आपका स्टिमुलस होता है ना, that only becomes your response. So here the stimulus as well as the response, they both are going to be the same thing. For example, you're going to see 4 processes here in which you'll see the example. Now the first process that we have here is the positive reinforcement. What do you mean by positive reinforcement? It basically means that whenever the child is coming to you for the treatment and he is behaving very nicely, okay, then you're every time the treatment is over, you're giving him certain rewards. Maybe you're giving him a small toy, maybe you're giving him a stamp or a sticker. Fine, these are going to be small rewards, and with these rewards there is a positive reinforcement or a very positive attitude which is being seen in the patient. So here basically the stimulus here was this toy and the stamp. This was basically the stimulus, and what was the result? There was a positive attitude. So you can say there was a positive stimulus in which we got a very positive response. Everything was positive in the person. That is what you mean by the positive reinforcement. Coming to the negative reinforcement, just opposite of it. For example, whenever you're going to have for example, if the child is sitting with you and he's crying a lot and you send the parent out of the room, you ask the parent to move out of the room. So what will happen? This was a negative stimulus. The parents have moved out. This was a negative stimulus. Now the child will start crying even more. That is a negative response. Okay, even more he'll start crying, and that is a negative response. तो नेगेटिव पेरेंट्स को बाहर भेजना पहला नेगेटिव आपका स्टिमुलस था. चाइल्ड स्टार्ट क्राइंग मोर इज द अदर नेगेटिव स्टिमुलस. टोटल इट इज लीडिंग टू अ नेगेटिव एटीट्यूड इन द पेशेंट. क्लियर? नेक्स्ट कमिंग टू ओमिशन. If you talk about omission, what is omission? For example, the child has got a soft toy with him. Okay, for example, this is a teddy bear. Sorry for my bad drawing. For example, this is a toy the child has got along with it. Okay, now what happens while the treatment? He is crying a lot. So आपने क्या करा? आपने अपने उसका टेडी बियर जो था उससे ले लिया. You just took away the teddy. Okay, what will happen? The child will start to cry even more louder. That is what you mean by omission. When you are taking something, or when you are taking basically his pleasant stimulus, matlab a stimulus which was making him happy, you just took away that stimulus and now you'll get a negative response from the child. Okay, next what you see is a punishment. In punishment, what you'll see is basically, for example, here also the one minute. For example, here also the child is crying a lot and you want कि बच्चा जो है वो चुप हो जाए. आप प्यार से बोल रहे हो, वो नहीं सुन रहा. एकदम से आप क्या करोगे? You make your voice very loud and you loudly take his name and ask him to slow down or ask him to listen to you. Now this is an example, another example of operant conditioning. The loud voice here, okay, the loud voice here was basically the stimulus. As a resultant आपको response क्या देखने के लिए मिलेगा कि बच्चा जो है वो रोता रोता चुप हो जाएगा. He'll calm down. Okay, so basically whenever you're leading to a loud voice, the child is going to calm down, and so that is you're getting the response what you wanted. You're getting a positive response here. That is what you mean by the operant conditioning. In the next part of the video, I will explain you about the other two theories which are being left, the observation learning theory and the last one being the hierarchy of needs. These are very small theory, but they are also very important. Many times you can get a short note on this and also a long note on this. So in this we have discussed these two theories. The next two would be discussed in the part B of the video.